Hi everyone and welcome back to my channel, the place for you to learn about branding, marketing, and social media. So today's topic is, should I or should I not rebrand my business? So I know a lot of people are not sure about that. Should I do it, should I not? So please feel free to share with me, what do you think? Do you think you actually need to rebrand your business? Yes, not? Are you maybe afraid to do it? You've got concerns, you're not sure it's the right thing. So this is the right video for you because I'm going to talk about it in a second. But before I start, I just want to say, a lot of time we are concerned on if we should make the change or not. And if you actually pay attention, if you look at the big companies, you see that a lot of them are actually rebranding themselves. And it's not something big and drastical. They make maybe small changes, maybe changing a bit of the color, maybe changing a bit of the font. They do small little adjustment just to get something more fresh, something more right for them. And it's not a bad thing to do. So if you look at a lot of big brands like Coca-Cola, like Kleenex, other brands, some of them are actually rebrand themselves. So if they can do it, so why cannot you do it? But before you actually decide to rebrand yourself just because you feel like it, I'm going to give you now quick tips on how to know if should you or should you not rebrand your business. So let's start. So first tip, and the first thing that you actually need to ask yourself is, who are you targeting? And a lot of the time we think oh wait, but we already know the answer for this question. No, you maybe know it, but you maybe don't. Because a lot of the time we make some changes in our business during the years, during the months, and we don't even pay attention because we're working on automatic thing that we actually made some changes. So if you're gonna sit down now, you're gonna answer some question, and I've got a video about how to define your target audience. I'm going to put a link here and a link here as well. So you need just to ask the right question. Gender, what are they doing on the free time? What are the challenges they've got? Things like that. Just ask yourself a certain type of question, and write it all down and take a look at that and see who you're targeting and see if it actually changed. I myself, every few months, sit down and rewrite again my target audience, and then I'm checking if something have changed, yes or not. Because if it's changed, I need to recheck other stuff. So that's the first step. If you check now your target audience and you see that it's not exactly the same as it was, even if it's just small changes, you can move with me to the next step. But either way, you can still move with me to the next step and see what else. But let's move. So the second step, and then tip number 2, is actually redefine again, what's your message? Is it still the same as it started? So now you know who you're targeting. Write a message that's going to be aligned with that target audience. Is it still the same message as it was, or have you made some changes in the message? Because we also sometimes forget that even if we stick to the same target audience, sometimes they have changed. Something in them have changed. So are they still the right target audience for us? Yes or not? And that's how we also know how to adjust the message. And the message is very important, because if our target audience is still the same and our message is fine, so we're good. But if our target audience is not the same, so our message needs to be changed as well, right? And that's also part of going to lead us to should we or should we not rebrand ourselves. And that's very important. And also, if we are still with the same target audience, but they have got some changes, so maybe we just need to do small adjustment to our message to, fit to them, to suit them. Because if our message is talking about X, but our target audience are interested in B, we're going to miss them out. We're they're going to go here and we're going to go here. And what's the point of it, right? We need to make sure that they both are aligned. But how can we know that all of that is in line? Let's move to the next one. So number 3, use the different social media platform as a place for you to check, to do some research, to get some better understanding, to learn about your target audience and your message. So for example, if you want to know if your message is very clear and out there, what I would advise you to do is just, for example, Facebook. Post on 2-3 groups, not too many, because then you're going to have so many opinions that you're going to get lost. So don't do that. Focus on a 1 or 2 group at the top 3 and share your logo. And when you put your logo also there, make sure that it's not you're writing, which logo do you like? Or if you've got more than one option and you want to check. If you got only one option, the logo that you've got now, because you want to check what they think about it. So don't just ask what do they think about it, because then people will say their personal opinion. I like it or I don't, or I like this one and not this one. Don't do that. Ask them, do you like it? Yes or no? And then ask questions. What are you understanding out of it? What's the message that's coming out of it? Do you actually have an idea what's the company behind it? Like, ask this question. Let people not only say if they like it or not, but get a better understanding of what are they seeing? What are the messages they're getting? What's coming out of it? What's their perception from your design? And by doing that, by sharing that, you will know now if your message is out there and very clear or not. And I can share from my side. When working in global companies and big companies, I always used to take my designs and I wouldn't check with my other marketing colleagues on the different departments or with like people from marketing overseas. I would actually go to finance, to sales, supply chain, people from different departments, and I'll go ask them, okay, what do you think about this? Do you like this flyer? Yes, no, what now? What have you got out of it? What's the key message you got out of it? And then I would check if my message is right and clear. Because we're forgetting, by you having your own business, for us, the message is super clear. What do you mean? Like, what do you mean you don't get it? Like, the message is very clear. We know exactly what we're trying to say. But it's clear for us, but it doesn't mean that it's clear for other people. And even if you go now to a graphic designer and you're going to let them do for you the job, he will tell you what his opinion from his perspective. But it's not very, it's not fully accurate, because you also need to test it with your target audience, with the people that are actually going to be your potential clients, people that are actually going to buy your service. If they don't get the message out of it, they're not going to buy from you. They're going to think like, okay, cool, that's a nice design. Okay, got it. What? I don't know. Like, it's not talking to me. I don't get what they want from me, right? So make sure that you use the different social media platforms to come and ask questions. So if you already start, like you have a company and you have a logo or you have a flyer and or like any other like a post design, share it over there and ask for opinions. If you're already starting to rebrand yourself, or maybe you start a business, so give the different options, but ask them to explain why, what's behind it. That's the best way you're going to know if your message is clear or not, and if you actually need to move. So as I said, like if they're going to tell you that your logo is talking X, well, you're trying to say why. You need to rebrand yourself and you need to make some changes. Or you maybe need to rechange your target audience. Who knows? But like most of the chances that you need to rebrand yourself to make your message clear, because if you follow the different steps, you know already who you're targeting. And then you already asked the right people the questions. So if I'm just going to sum it up very quickly, sit down, write again who you're targeting. Who's your target market, target audience? Write it down. Write it into the small details. Make sure that it's very clear for you who you're targeting. After you've done that, write the right message. Define your message of your company. What are you trying to achieve? What are you trying to put out there? What's your brand promise? And about that, by the way, I've got another video. I'm going to put a link here below and a link here. And once you define your brand promise, you make sure that your brand promise is defined and in alignment with your target audience, because you don't want to speak Chinese to people that speak Spanish, right? It needs to be the same language. It needs to be the same. Once you are defining these two, take your existing logo, use the different social media platforms and ask the questions. And ask, what do you get out of it? Do you like it? Do you not? Why? What's the message behind it? What the company that you think it is? Ask them the different questions and let them come with the answers. As per the answers, you will know if the message is clear for them, you are fine and you're doing amazing. So keep your brand as it is. If it's not, it's your chance now to rebrand yourself. And when you're rebranding yourself, again, use the different social media platforms to ask and check which of the different options of your logos will speak to them more and why. And again, not just what is going to be the prettiest, but why. And make sure that the message is very clear and out there. You don't want to waste your time and energy on something that's not going to lead you to results. Because we do want to grow a business, right? So in order to do it, we need to make sure that we speak in the right language to the right people at the right place and at the right time. So if you like my content, please subscribe to my channel and give me a like, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye!